Alaska and Washington receive BEAD checkmarks from NTIA, the largest ever federal energy loan package awarded to help deal with the influx of new data centers. Microsoft and Starlink partner on a global connectivity project. Streaming helps ISPs slow down cord cutting, and Paramount's persistence in pursuit of Warner Brothers finally pays off. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Craig Corbin. BEAD final proposal approval handed down this week for Alaska and Washington. That brings the number of states and territories getting the high sign from NTIA to 52. Only a quartet remain in the on-deck circle. During February, 8 other states and territories were granted approvals: the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Vermont, Mississippi, New Mexico, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Oregon. 38 states and territories have also received NIST approval. Major announcement this week from the U.S. Department of Energy's Office of Energy Dominance Financing. 2 subsidiaries of Atlanta-based Southern Company will receive $26.5 billion to support a wide range of power generation and transmission grid upgrades, all to help deal with the onslaught of energy-hungry data centers in Georgia. Georgia Power will receive the majority, roughly $22.5 billion, and Alabama Power more than $4 billion. The investment will help the utilities add 16 gigawatts of new power to the grid and deliver $7 billion in savings to electricity customers in both states. The $26.5 billion package marks the largest federal energy loan ever awarded. Word this week that Microsoft and Starlink are set to collaborate on a global community internet project. It's a combination of LEO satellite connectivity, community-based deployment models, and local ecosystem partnerships. One of the first efforts will see an alliance with Starlink, Microsoft, and an internet service provider in Kenya, working to connect 450 community hubs across the country. An inquiry into broadcast sports rights has been launched. The Federal Communications Commission seeking public comment on a range of related issues, including the shift of rights from free over-the-air broadcast to streaming. Deadline for comment on FCC Media Bureau docket number 26-45 is March 27th. Reply comments will be due 2 weeks following that date. Amazon plans to invest more than $12 billion on AI data centers in Louisiana. The data center campuses will be located in Cato and Bossier parishes in northwestern Louisiana. Projects are expected to create 540 full-time jobs at the data centers, along with 1,700 other roles such as electricians, HVAC technicians, and security specialists. Amazon, working with the local utility, Southwestern Electric Power Company, and will pay 100% of the costs associated with new and upgraded energy infrastructure. Amazon also planning to invest up to $400 million on public water infrastructure supporting the campus. A massive AI chips deal announced this week between Meta and Advanced Micro Devices. That's potentially worth better than $100 billion. The deal may well result in Meta owning nearly 10% of AMD's stock. Meta has agreed to buy 6 gigawatts of AI computing power in a challenge to NVIDIA. The company expected to deploy the first gigawatt later this year. Last year, Meta invested $72 billion to build out AI data centers, with plans to spend upwards of $135 billion this year. Meta looking to optimize its AMD chips for inference, the process by which an AI model responds to user queries. And that's not the only massive deal involving Meta Platforms Incorporated this week. The company reportedly agreeing to a multi-billion-dollar deal to rent Google Cloud's custom artificial intelligence chips. The Tensor processing units will be used to train and run Meta's next-generation large language models. And not to be left out, OpenAI announcing a $110 billion funding round with backing from Amazon, NVIDIA, and SoftBank. Amazon investing $50 billion, NVIDIA and SoftBank $30 billion each. The $110 billion, more than double OpenAI's last funding round a year ago, which at that time was a record for a private tech company. OpenAI also expanding an existing $38 billion agreement with Amazon Web Services up to $100 billion that will span the next 8 years. Well, streaming has long been thought of as the death knell for legacy cable television, but a number of ISPs are slowing the rate of cord cutting by integrating streaming apps into cable packages. Charter Communications added more than 44,000 net new video subs during the fourth quarter of 2025. About a third of the new subscribers, though, jumped on board during the YouTube television blackout of Disney channels, including ESPN, which hit sports fans right in the middle of football season. And finally, the old adage of if at first you don't succeed, try again, promoting persistence and resilience. Well, it's certainly emblematic of Paramount and the quest for Warner Brothers Discovery. The seemingly never-ending saga has finally, and thankfully, come to a close after Paramount upped the ante with a revised takeover offer of about $111 billion. Netflix declined to raise its bid, saying that the price, quote, required to match is no longer financially attractive. Netflix will receive a nice parting gift, however, in the form of a $2.8 billion breakup fee. You know, when all is said and done, Netflix may well be very happy they didn't win. Warner Brothers Discovery ended 2025 with $33.5 billion in debt. The Paramount deal will add another $57.7 billion in debt on the combined company in what would be the largest leveraged buyout in history. Now, by my count, that's more than $90 billion in debt right out of the gate. Let's see if Paramount can keep that ship afloat. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in the Broadband Universe.